Is this going to cause me financial harm when you literally take every fucking penny I own? Yes. Yes, it is. Can I sue? Fuck yes. Will I sue? Oh, you bet your fucking ass I'm going to sue. You bet your fucking ass. Because you guys had to make a big fucking deal out of this shit. So, yeah, I'm going to sue you. And let me read it again, class. We're going to read it again. I'm going to pound this into your fucking skull until you get it. Debt collection violations under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA. You can sue a debt collector if they violate the act and cause you financial harm. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. And I'm going to win because I can't lose. When you take everything away from a man, you're putting that man in danger. Real danger. Loss of life danger.
So how things go today? Were the trolls wrong?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. They were wrong that they could charge any amount. They were wrong that they could double and triple the price. They were wrong that they could just arbitrarily do whatever. They were wrong on that account.
Mm-hmm.
They were right. Okay, I guess I must have misunderstood that lady. But I could have sworn she told me that if it wasn't on that list on the 18th, they couldn't buy. Nobody could buy. But I guess I must have misunderstood her because I talked to Beverly today, and she said, no, that was a protected list, which is the opposite. If it's on the list, they can't touch it, which was the opposite. How in the hell I could get it to, I just don't, I'm not that way. Okay. I'm not wired that way. I couldn't possibly gotten the exact opposite of a thing. So either the lady behind the glass didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, or, or I misinterpreted, but I don't see how I could have done that. But anyway, after the 18th, anyone on the fucking planet could buy my shit.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, I looked her right in the face. I said, that's crazy. That needs to change. Convicted criminals and domestic terrorists buying up property, Kentucky property, that needs to fucking change. So,
did you come up with a payment plan or anything?
Well, no, they bought the properties. So, I'm screwed, blued, and tattooed.
Well, they bought the properties. They didn't buy the trailers, so you can always move those.
Yeah, well, unless I get some money, there's nothing I can do. So, and I'm not bringing in enough rent to pay the taxes and pay my bills. I'm just not. So,
well, you could pawn the truck off for $4,000 and just get one of your neighbors to drive you for a while. Well,
no, I can't. Ain't nobody going to do nothing for me down here, especially something like that. No, I might be able to get away with it once, but every day, no fucking way would somebody do that for me. No, they would not. No, they would not. Now, I don't know who bought it because I haven't. Apparently, they're supposed to snail mail me. Whoever bought it is.
Notify you first, at least.
Huh?
They were supposed to notify you first that there was a buyer interested.
Well, the thing of it is, they're supposed to send me a snail mail, let me know who they are, and some kind of payment plan for them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that I don't give a damn if the payment plan's 5 cents. There's no way I can pay. There's just no way. It's impossible. It's impossible. I can't pay my bills and pay the taxes at the same time. I can't do it. Because if I'd have done it, I would have already done it before all this shit happened, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where we're at. So if I don't get a financial miracle, then I'm going to lose the properties. That's just the way it goes.
Well, things have a way of working out in the end, even if you do have to move.
Well, like I said, it may be that the gods want me out of here. I mean, with this cemetery here, there's people constantly going up the hill to the cemetery. You have to have an easement to it. And so they, any old Tom, Dick, and Harry, I'm going to go see my aunt, whatever, and they go up there and, and so you have to let them. Well, they're going up there all hours of the day and night on loud four-wheelers and shit. So, I mean, but it's kind of ironic because if I can somehow get my ass out of this mess, the first thing I'm going to do is declare this fucking property a goddamn gravesite, a cemetery, whatever, whatever term they use down here. And then they can't fucking tax me on it no more ever again. Fuck you, trolls. Now the rest of the properties, though, you still got to pay taxes on. But this property that has the cemetery, once I declare it a cemetery, I ain't got to pay tax on this ever again. Now, as for the rest of them, like I said, it's very interesting that the only properties they bought were the properties that brought in an income. Now, here's the thing.
So would you be able to live on one of these other properties that you have?
Let me try this again, okay? Let me try this again because you missed something. I'm only bringing in enough money to pay my bills. Mm-hmm. If I do not have the places rented that I have rented now, I cannot pay my bills. I'll be in the red.
I see. So
okay,
no matter
where
you
now,
go,
are you on the same page now?
Yeah.
I have to have these properties rented in order to pay my bills. I cannot get disability. I cannot get SSI. I cannot get any kind of help whatsoever because good old Robert motherfucking Stivers has blocked that shit. You can call Corbin right now, and Corbin will say, "Yeah, we can't help him. Sorry, he didn't pay enough in." That's what they'll tell you. Now, that's a load of horse shit because I worked all my life, and I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs over in Ohio. And the first thing I did when I come down here was get me a job working down at Anvil in an electronics factory. Okay, so paid in my ass. Of course I paid in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop up somebody that can go with me as a witness. And I'm going to go to Corbin and I'm going to raise holy hell. And I'm going to say, okay, here's the deal. You give these illegals $5,300 a month plus a one-time check of $3,500. You're going to give that to me, or I'm going to file a discrimination lawsuit as big as Mount Olympus. And then let's see what they say. Because if they say we're not going to give you no money, then I file a lawsuit. Now, the nice thing about filing this discrimination lawsuit is that I can get a court-appointed attorney because it's a civil case. So I can get a court-appointed attorney. And I will get a court-appointed attorney. It's just like family court. Family court, they appointed me an attorney every time. Okay, be the same thing with this, because it's a civil case. So I just go in there. I say, hey, I can't afford an attorney, and they'll afford one for me, and I'll win my case because I can't fucking lose. I mean, my goddamn legs are fucking hamburger. I can't fucking lose. And I've already got 2 or 3 doctors that have already checked me out and said, yeah, man, he's fucked up. So I can't lose. So I'll at least get some disability pay out of it. Hopefully get all my back pay. That would be nice. But, and now see, Corbin with the SSI and the disability and the VA, that's on a federal level, which means it's nationwide, because, John's like, well, just go to another state. I said, I can't. It's federal. No matter what state I go to, it ain't going to fucking matter. Okay, so it ain't going to matter what state I go to. So I got to get it. I got to fight it. I'm just going to fight it. I'm going to tell him, look, man, you don't give me my shit. I'm just going to fucking file a discrimination lawsuit. Because as far as my inheritance, once I get my disability money, however that may be, I can take 2,000 or 3,000 of it, get me an attorney, and then go after the Frost to get my damn inheritance back. Obviously, once I get my inheritance down, I know people goes, you can't get it back. It's gone. He done spent it. Well, you're full of shit. He had no right. Okay, first of all, when you are the executor, you can't just go into somebody's fucking a bank account and snatch their money out of their bank account. You got to have a damn good reason. And when you do take that money, it has to go into the estate account. Money didn't go in the estate account. The $5 million out of this bank, out of this closet here, did that go into the estate account? No. The 4.3 million in her checking and savings, which I personally saw a record of, did that go in the estate account? No. How about the treasury bills I saw, or the certificates of deposit? Did those go in? No. How about the World War II war bonds in them lock boxes? Did they go into the estate account? No. Nothing they took, mom's jewelry, nothing they took went into the estate account. All that was in the estate account was $32,000, and they paid one electric bill. That's it. I mean, but anybody at this point that hasn't been paying attention and doesn't see that this shit was all done deliberate to fuck me over financially needs to grow a fucking brain. Because by now, it should be obvious as mud that this was done to rob me of whatever little money I got coming in. They only purchased the properties that had rental properties on them. Why? Because they wanted to rob me of what little bit of money I've got coming in. That was the whole point of it. That was why this whole hullabaloo was done in the first place. Whether it was done by Stivers, whether it was done by the Frost, whether it was done by the Trolls, whether it was done by Clay County, doesn't matter. It was done for the purpose of denying me a fucking income. Because they know without an income, I will fucking die. They know that. That's called common sense. Okay? Which puts me in what you call a hardship. Now, here's the brilliant thing about it. The people that bought my property have put me in a hardship. I don't care how many times they scream, we bought the land legally. I don't give a damn how many times they say that. They still put me in a financial hardship that is easily proven, which means I can sue the absolute fuck out of them. I don't give a damn how many times they scream, we bought the land legally. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They still put me in a financial hardship. And it was done deliberately, and it was done with malice, which is significant. Okay, that's significant in court. Okay, you know, if it was, you know, if it was somehow where we didn't know that was the only income he had, you know, they can't make that excuse now, can they? No, because everybody knows that's the only income I got. I can't get disability and SSI and VA, at least not yet, not until I sue the fuck out of them. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, anybody that's been paying attention and that hasn't been living under a rock can easily see that this was done to rob me of my income, what little income I have. That's called a hardship. Anybody can get on the internet and look this shit up. That's called a hardship. And under a hardship, I can sue. Okay? You put my life in danger by robbing me of what little tiny finances I have. But yeah, that's called a hardship. I mean, look it up, folks. When you rob somebody of their only means of survival, that's a hardship. And anybody that was involved in that, I can take them to court. Remember, I told Todd this, didn't I, Todd? I said, you're putting my life in danger. You're literally putting my life in danger because you damn well know, just as the trolls know, just as everybody knows, these rental properties is my only income. And once that income is gone, I have nothing. That puts me in a financial hardship, and I can sue, and I will sue. Believe it. I will.
Paying your tax actually helps you a little bit. I mean, that keeps the county attorney off your butt for another year. By the way, I'm going to buy the other 3 on October 7th. I'll be down there on that Monday. So, unless you pay them off by then.
Taxes annually after once you buy them, right?
I'm sorry, what?
It's not just a one-time payment in taxes. You'll have to pay taxes annually.
No, it's a one-time payment to buy the liens, which is on the other three properties.
Yeah, but if I can't pay, you got to pay, dummy.
Well, next year for 2024, maybe I'm going to buy the 2023 liens and help you out. I'm going to pay your taxes.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I'm coming down on the 7th.
I bet you're going to help out.
So I wanted to give you a heads up that I'll be at the clerk's office.
Yeah, I'm sure you're doing it out of the goodness of your fucking heart, aren't you, Troll? Aren't you, Troll? You're doing it out of the goodness of your heart. See?
I highly
there you go. Okay, now see, there you go. There's proof right there. After me telling him that it's putting me in a financial hardship, he just said, I'm going to buy them anyway. I'm going to buy your shit. I'm going to leave you with nothing. Anyway, you just heard him. He said he's going to buy the rest of the properties. After me just telling him that puts me in a financial hardship. Okay, so here's the deal, boys and girls. The second he buys my properties, I'm filing a hardship case against his ass. I can't lose because can anybody see where I've got any other income coming in? Can you see it? No, there is none. There is none. So yeah, he's putting me in a financial hardship. And whoever bought these first two, I'm going to sue the fuck out of them for putting me in a financial hardship. Okay, look that up online. In fact, no. You know what? Since you trolls are too fucking lazy to look it up, I'll look it up for you.
So I'm curious though, because I don't. The whole time for the past several weeks, you've said that the ad in the paper was wrong, that everything was wrong, that you don't owe taxes. You actually paid it before. Are you admitting that you were wrong about this stuff?
Well, all right, hold on. Like I said, you know, my stuff is tied up in a court of law in an estate. I don't know how in the fuck these guys are paying these tax liens. They shouldn't be able to. My property's tied up in a goddamn court of law, for fuck's sake.
Well, if you would have listened to Todd's video, Beverly said that.
The lady said because she reiterated it to me in person today. But listen to me. I took 2 years of real estate law. And unless Kentucky has totally lost their ever-loving fucking mind.
It's not in the estate no more.
It is in the estate. When Mom died, it created an estate. Okay, I don't give a fuck what some dickwad says. When Mom died, it created an estate. It is still in an estate, and therefore you cannot fucking touch those properties. Now, what you can do, what you can do though, is you can get what they call an estate lien on the properties, but that's only after 1 fucking year. It has to sit for 1 year before you can do that.
But you know that you have to pay your taxes, your property taxes, on the due date. And if you have a payment plan, you have to follow the payment plan. You don't just make payments whenever you feel like it.
Okay, that's the thing, though. But like I said, when they are in a fucking estate through the courts, you're not supposed to touch them.
But do you have documentation from the court saying that they are exempt from
like I said, I just looked it up yesterday. You have to get what's called an estate tax lien. You have to get an estate tax lien, and you have to get it through the courts. You can't just willy-nilly call them, yeah, I'm going to buy all of Von's shit. Not when it's in an estate, you can't. That's why I'm saying this shit don't make no sense to me. And not only that, but I'll remind you, they put that shit up there under my mother's name, which is bullshit, because I paid Beverly, that woman that Todd talked to, I paid her $160 fucking to put everything in my goddamn name. Why in the fuck is that shit in my mother's name? And why was it dated 2023? I'll tell you why, because it's a year old. My name is 2024.
But regardless, you have to pay the property tax. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. You can keep the estate going and probate for the next 20 years, but you have to still pay the tax on it. And even after you got out of probate, then the tax, all those years tax bills would be due. You'd have, whatever, $40,000, $80,000 of tax.
If everybody would have left me the fuck alone, I would have gotten the taxes caught up, but nobody would leave me the fuck alone. Oh, we got to do it right now. We got to fuck him over right now. Okay, that's the thing. Everybody started this big hullabaloo.
But this tax bill didn't come out just yesterday. It came out It was due on January 1st.
A bunch of fuckwads on the internet purposely sought out that shit and put it all over the fucking internet. That's what happened. That's only what happened. Normally, people didn't even know I had. But you heard what Toad himself said out of his own fucking mouth, or somebody said it. There's property taxes that have been sitting out there for years, and nobody's touched them because why? Because it isn't blabbed all over the fucking internet. That's why. There is property taxes for Vivian Frost right now. I don't know who Vivian Frost is. I guess some distant relative of James or whatever. But there's a Vivian Frost out there that has owed taxes on her property for over 3 fucking years, and nobody's touched it. You want to know why? Because nobody knew Vivian Frost existed, because nobody knew that shit was out there until somebody put it all over the fucking internet and said, oh, yeah, hey, Von Helden owes taxes. Everybody on the fucking internet, run out there and buy the damn things. Otherwise, this shit wouldn't have happened. Now, would it? No. And Beverly, bless her heart, did finally admit that much, that there's people that's never had their property touched for years. Tim Davison, one of my renters, and my groundskeeper, he's got he's got property he paid taxes on in years. Nobody ran out there to try to take his property away. So either this was a ploy by Clay County or Robert Stivers, isn't it? Yeah, had to be. Because somebody put that shit out there now, didn't they? Right? Somebody put it out there. Had to have. Because otherwise, it would languish until I got it paid off, just like everybody else down here. But yeah, I think it was Vivian. It was somebody named Frost. I think it was like Vivian Frost or Vicky Frost or something like that. 3 years hasn't paid her goddamn property taxes. 3 years. Nobody's after her ass. Nobody's aggravating her. Nobody's clamoring. We got to go buy that property right now. Nobody. Because it isn't blabbed all over the fucking universe. Of course, now that the trolls have fucking blabbed it all over the universe, now probably somebody will go after her shit and put her in a bad way. But I mean, fuck. So either Clay County did it themselves or Stivers did it, either one. Because normally nothing is done. You just get it caught up when you can get it caught up. That's the general consensus I'm hearing down here from everyone. Yes, Beverly is technically correct about what she says. But Kentucky being Kentucky, and it being as poor as fuck down here, nobody raises a stink. Okay? And eventually you try to get your shit caught up.
But these people don't realize they can't just pay taxes just one time. They're going to have to do it annually on your
Von Helden is mathematically illiterate. What part of I don't have enough money coming in yet to be able to pay the taxes don't you fucking understand? If people hadn't have made such a big fucking issue out of this, I would have had the shit done by the end of this year. And plus I would have been able to pay for next year as well. Because I would have saved up the rent money and I would have got it took care of. But everybody had to jump the gun and put this shit out there for the whole goddamn world to see. And so now, like I said, once Toad buys that property, I can sue the fuck out of him for financial hardship. In fact, let's go on ahead and read it. I went to Microsoft Bing, the AI, Bing AI. All right, it says breach of contract if someone owes you money. That's not it. Employment issues, debt collection violations. Under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Wow, I didn't even know there was such a thing. FDCPA. You can sue a debt collector if they violate the act and cause you financial harm. Boom, fuckers. Boom. Let me read it again for you slow fucking YouTube trolls out there. Debt collection violations under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA for short. You can sue a debt collector if they violate the act and cause you financial harm. Is this going to cause me financial harm when you literally take every fucking penny I own? Yes. Yes, it is. Can I sue? Fuck yes. Will I sue? Oh, you bet your fucking ass I'm going to sue. You bet your fucking ass. Because you guys had to make a big fucking deal out of this shit. So yeah, I'm going to sue you. You bet your ass. And I'll be able to get a court-appointed attorney because this shit's federal, boys and girls. This shit's federal. I can get a court-appointed attorney. So fuck you. I'll see you all.
You need to figure out who bought the property first.
And I'm going to sue the fuck. I hope you got a lot of money, motherfuckers, because I'm going to sue you for millions. I'm going to sue you for the maximum that the federal law will allow. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it either. Because, like I said, do you see any other income coming in for me other than the rental property? No. Because that's the only fucking income I got, you dumb fucks. And that's why you're doing it. Because it is the only income I got. That's why Stivers is doing it. Because he knows that's the only income I got. And that's probably why Clay County itself is doing it. Because they know that's the only income I got. Because only a moron would know that I don't have any other income. Because it's been talked about widely all over the internet. The only income he's got is those rental properties. So if somebody buys them, that puts me in financial hardship. And let me read it again, class. We're going to read it again. I'm going to pound this into your fucking skull until you get it. Debt collection violations under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA. You can sue a debt collector if they violate the act and cause you financial harm. All right, have you all wrote that shit down? Have you all Googled that shit? You Google. I can see the trolls are Googling as fast as they can Google. We'll keep Googling because I just read it right there off of Bing AI. I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you, and I'm gonna win because I can't lose. When you take everything away from a man, you're putting that man in danger, real danger, loss of life danger. So yeah, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of him for millions, and I hope you got the money. Now, everybody says, ain't no such thing as debt or prison. Oh, really? Yeah, don't pay money you owe the government and find out what happens. And I guarantee you better pay. Because if you don't, you go into jail, motherfucker. I don't give a damn how many times you scream. There is no debt or prison. You scream it till your lungs fall out. Because you're going to go to jail if you can't pay. Because I'm suing you for millions. And I'll win. I can't fucking lose. I can't fucking lose, dumbasses, because it's all over the fucking internet. I can't lose. And you guys just had to make a big, like I said, let's say this again in case somebody missed it. There is property taxes down here that's been sitting for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Tim Davison told me out of his own mouth he's got back taxes for 10 fucking years. 10 years. Nobody's fucking with him. Because everybody down here knows that when you're poor as fuck, you got to do what you can do. And so nobody fucks with it. But see, y'all made a big deal out of it. Or Stivers made a big deal out of it, or Clay County made a big deal out of it. Either way, whoever did, they're in big trouble because I can sue, and I'm going to. All right, that's just the way it is. All parties involved that had a hand in this shit are going to get a lawsuit. And there's no way I can lose. There's no way I can lose. Because this, first of all, it's tied up in a goddamn court of law, for fuck's sake. Number one. Number two, it's the only income I have. And number three, it was willed to me by my mother. Not some fucker in Florida, or some fucker in Oklahoma, or some fucker in Georgia. Hi, Kitty KPZ, who was supposed to be dead and is fucking alive again. Wow, what a shock. What a fucking shock that a troll would lie about dying. So, yeah, good luck, motherfuckers. I hope you got plenty of money, bitches. Because I'm suing. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you, motherfucker. I don't give a damn. And if it turns out Clay County is the one that started that shit, well, then Clay County better come up with a lot of money, too. Because I'm going to sue them. Whoever started this bullshit and made it public put my life in real danger. And I'm going to sue the dog shit out of them. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If I got to go all the way to the goddamn Supreme Court to do it, I guarantee I will. That's just the way it goes.
Now, did they say how long you have until they do something about it? Or
I got a year. I got a year.
about a year? Okay.
Yep, I got a year. But see, here's the thing. What if they don't? I mean, here's the thing that I didn't ask Beverly, and I should have. What if they don't send me a snail mail, letting me know who they are and setting me up with a payment plan? Then what? Is Clay County going to go after them for it? Fuck no. I can't get Clay County to go after these fucking trolls in the outside chat. So they sure as fucking going to go after somebody that has that purchased a lien. They got their fucking money. So why do they care? They're not going to go and insist that they, send me a snail mail. So it's just going to fucking sit there because they don't have to send me a snail mail. Clay County's going to make them send me a snail mail with a payment plan? No. I can't get them to the rest of these fucking trolls in the outside chat. And some of these motherfuckers gave me death threats. I can't get Clay County to even go after somebody that gave me a fucking death threat. So I know they sure as fucking going to go after these guys that bought the liens because they got their money. Clay County got their money. So they ain't going to force them to pay to set up a payment plan and send that shit to me in snail mail. No, they ain't going to do shit. They're not going to do a goddamn thing.
Well, I would go back to the office and find out who actually bought the property so we can make a personal agreement with them.
I asked her who bought the properties. She wasn't allowed to tell me, I guess. I got to wait for the snail mail. And and like I said, I should have fucking asked her. I said, well, what if they don't send me a snail mail? What if they say, fuck you, we're not going to send him a snail mail. We're not going to send him a payment plan. And they just hang on to the goddamn liens. So why in the fuck should I expect anybody to go after these guys and make them give me a payment plan and give me the tax? And I kind of nudged Beverly in that direction, but I didn't go ahead the whole way. I should have just asked her flat out. I said, what if these guys don't give me a payment plan? What if they don't decide to give me a snail mail address or anything? Then I'm just shit out of luck, I guess. They'll just sit there till I go broke, I guess. I don't know. Go back to Hamilton, Ohio. With what, dumbass? I got no income. I'm an idiot. How the fuck am I going to go anywhere without no goddamn money? You're not thinking clearly, are you? No, you're not. 3 months to go. No, a year to go. She told me a year, not 3 months. Sorry, trolls. I got a year. No, according to Beverly, it's a year from when you got them, which was what, the other day, or somebody got them.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a year from when you got them. It's a year when whoever got them. I asked Beverly directly on that one. So I got a year. No, it is not 3 months, dumb fuck. I got it. I just told you. Beverly told me to my face. I got a year. No, it is not a year from January 1st, 2024. No, it is not. That's not what she said. No, that's not what she said, Toad. It's a year from when you purchased them because you're supposed to give me a payment plan through snail mail, and then that's when it's all set up.